get paid in full each and every time. I've been, let's see, I think this will be the one to wear. I've been working on the office all day, creating content all day, and it's been crazy. Internet was down, weird stuff, but now we're rocking and rolling. But how many of you feel that you are paid what you're worth? I want you to put that in the comments. Once again, how many of you feel that you are paid what you are worth? Whether you own a business, whether you have a job, go ahead and put that in there. And also, some crazy stuff's happening with YouTube. It's just like amazing. Well, anyway, this is Glendon Cameron, founder of Hustles Kung Fu University, where your real financial education begins. And today, we're going to talk about getting paid because let me show you some stuff. I'm not where I should be, but we're working on it. We're working on it. All right. So I'm working on the alternative money. I mean, this section is going to be pretty long because we got to talk about gold, silver. We got to talk about Bitcoin because Bitcoin is not going to like disappear, but it will be relevant. And I'm just putting in some stuff that where you can make money and keep Big Brother out of your business. I mean, that's just where we need to be. That's where we want to be because you got to manage your money to manage your life. So what I want people to do, let's see. You're not going to be able to, you know what I'm going to do? Because this is still going on. I'm going to do this. All right, so I can come out of there. Today, here we go. So we can just stop that. All right. So this is what's going on today, and I'm going to get into the topic in a minute. 40. That's kind of working. What's the devil is that's going on? All right, so this is what's going to happen. Let's hold it up. 40 off. That's the code to get 40% off of anything at Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills. That is below the video. I started to come in. You know what I'm going to do? Because I don't know if this is going to get banned. But hold on a second.
Battery 60%.
Okay. 60% because Google, let me tell you, they are, if I had started my YouTube channel predicated on sponsorships, AdSense, I would be in a world of hurt. I mean, like what happened this week, it is crazy. And part of that is, I think if you're a YouTuber and you're not established or you don't really know how the internet works, it's going to be very hard for you to make money using YouTube. Very hard. What's this?
The Key and Falcon Broadway is our record company. Indeed. Okay, so
can you hear that? Because I'm going to let that play because YouTube's going to demonetize this video anyway. What's the hey? I'm probably going to start playing music all of the time because it's really interesting. I'm just going to let that marinate, and I'm also going to say once again, I'm going to flash this up there while they're kind of rolling up. That should be soft enough. So we'll see. But that's 40 off of this.
kid, so I think of all the devious things I did. I used to roll up. This is a hole up. Ain't nothing funny. Stop smiling. You still don't nothing move but the money. But now I learn to earn cause I'm righteous. I feel great, so maybe I might just search for a 9 to 5. If I strive, then maybe I'll stay
All right.
alive. So
That's everything at Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills. I'm going to let that roll for a few more hours. All right. I'm just messing with YouTube. I am poking the bear because it's going to be demonetized anyway. Let's talk about that. I think this is going to make YouTube better. I know that many people will disagree with me because I've already seen a change in my feed, and it's really, I think some people have already stopped making content because they know, well, some people have already been demonetized. They're not getting anything. And my feed has reorganized, but that's also for me doing a lot of these live streams. So I think that has something to do with it. But yes, this is the new studio. Like, I'm creating a lot of courses, and today it was such a struggle. And this is something that if you're a course creator or a podcast, you need this. You need a steady, consistent environment. And I was moving my chair over here and doing it, and it wasn't working out. And then I had some drama this morning. But let's get into the chat room and see what y'all are talking about. What's up, Cartel 007, Stefan Afri, Certified Sounds? What's that, All Reborns? You got a check mark? Oh, your name's just grayed out. What's up, Certified Greg Hudson? Nope. Afri, nope. What's up, Raquel? Certified, hell no. Johnny Walden, what's going on? Certified, James W, Short Change. The Sheiky, McCann Enterprises, this dude bakes. Stefan, Stephanie Jackson, good evening, everyone. James, can you tell us where to buy gold? That's going to be in the course. Charlatan present. Mar Boggs. Since I've received my Hustle Kung Fu hoodie, I shall wear it with my Kung Fu gets better. What's up, Roosevelt? Yeah, Essence is just scary right now. Thinking of a master. I mean, they're going to demonetize this video anyway. It's just going to happen. Johnny Rios, hey man, I've been watching this since 2013. I just wanted to thank you for everything I learned from you. Awesome. Glad to have you here for so long. Keith Hammond, specials from Tax Slayer for like 3 days. That's over. Really? That's weird because they will demonetize this video. Joshua Hill, you're on it. It is inspired by Monique because I'm going to actually get into stuff that's real to me. What's up, Tone Lee, Joshua Hill, E-Rock, Gunji, JP. What's up to Jones, Patches, AKW Beats for working hard to get 1,000 subs before Feb 20. That's true. Levinsky Page, the gold and silver section is going to be in the Tax Slayer. It's going to be under Disruptive Money Business. What's up, Patty? Nathan Judson. Yeah, because I'm a little burnt out on course creation. I had to go to the office. I had to go get the chairs. I had to spend like 2 hours setting this up because I've been doing stuff from the office. But probably let me go ahead and get rid of that because YouTube has this habit of taking off this track of something that plays too many songs. Nate Justin, I've been doing live for like the last 90 days. What's up, Jasmine? MJ Electronics. Rockstone, Glendon, are you slow and steady or do you feel a sense of urgency? Man, I always feel a sense of urgency. Always. I've been feeling a sense of urgency since 2009. Charlatan, what's going to happen is the ad money is going to shift to fewer hands. What's up, Darian? All right. So here's my situation. And as someone said, this was brought about because of Monique. Um, One of the things, and this is my story, I was working at business environments. And to be honest, I was being paid what I made. If I sold a deal, I got paid. I mean, the owner did not play with their money and nothing like that. Now, he was just very full of subterfuge and duplicity on some other stuff. But if your check said you were supposed to get X, Y, and Z, you got X, Y, and Z. And I was getting paid what I was making. First time I ever had that type of situation. It was incredibly hard, but it was also very lucrative. The reason I left, and I don't think I've told the story enough, is one morning I walked in and Ken Scott said, Jim's an owner, distinctly and clearly. Now, I was only black salesperson there. And it was what I call soft racism. It wasn't overt. It wasn't like none of these guys were going to get in the truck and club me. They weren't doing that. They were too rich. But it's the kind of subtle racism that is running rampant in America because Trump is president. And I remember feeling like so mad because for them to say that, that's, it was pretty indicative of what they felt with me. They talked to me, we go to lunch, but I never got to be inside the reindeer games. If you know, I had to really grind to make money. I had to get all my own leads and stuff, which there's nothing wrong with it. But I was competing with these guys in certain situations. And I remember Jason had worked the lead and let it just fall apart because I used to go through the old leads and I resurrected it. The deal had got delayed by a year. I was getting on it. And then Jason noticed on the leaderboard that I was working that deal. And Jason's like, that's my deal. And I said, no, it's not. I went in, that deal was dead. That was supposed to happen last year and it didn't. You didn't follow up. So he goes ahead and bitches out to Ken like, man, that's my lead. Because he finds out it's like $150,000 deal, super sweet commission. I sold them really high. So it's about $25,000 commission for me. And Ken was like, we need to split this. I'm split. I mean, I was like hot. So what Ken does is go up into his magical folder and he pulls out this company. He slides it across the desk. He says, call them. So I called him. It's a cakewalk. And essentially it's a $25,000 commission, actually doubling what I lost because Ken was playing politics. He wanted to keep Jason happy because Jason and Jim was Jason's father and they lived in the country club of the South. So they were able to get deals I could never get because they were playing golf with decision makers. So he didn't want to mess that up. So he created it as a way to keep things going. And, it's like, okay, I got more money than I was going to get on the other deal. So I was cool. Well, a few weeks later, it comes out, oh, Ken is handing Glendon deals. It was just, it was just, if you never felt the frustration of being treated less than you were because someone thought they were better than you, even though you showed them day in day out that they weren't even close to being as good, it's just this privileged situation that I realized that I needed to go on my own. And GC Solutions was my first foray. I did really well. Then I tried to get brand new with new office furniture. Sold 1.2 million, just completely fucked up so many things that I made like 30, 40 grand profit. And then I went back to use stuff and stayed in my lane. And I remember that feeling I had, that disgusting taste in my mouth from that situation. And it's something that changed me because I was already on that path where I got laid off 3 times in 18 months. Then that put me on this, it's me against them that set that path on. And it reached a crescendo when I got that message and it was on the billboard. It was like, you are not, I don't care how hard you work. Don't really care. You will always be less than these people. Always. And I didn't like that disgusting taste in my mouth. So I figured out a plan. I quit. 6 months later, I've never worked for anyone else since that point. because no one is going to pay me the way that I'm going to pay me. And if I had stayed there, and let's say I became a super salesperson, right, and was selling like $5 million office furniture a year, I still would have not made the money. And this would have been like, about 10 years. Let's say I sold 5 million. So say I sold 25 million. I wouldn't have made $1 million. I would have probably made, let's see, I would have made a million. I would have been making like 3 to 4 something a year. So I would have been at about 3.4 million, which ain't bad money. But taking a chance on me, I've made way more, and it's much more satisfying because I got a friend and we talk about this all the time. For I am 51 years old, and I know what the job market is like for people my age and complexion out there. It's quite shitty. If you're not already well positioned and you have all your I's and T's crossed, you could be a casualty any day. Every day you're out there walking, scared, dead man walking, dead woman walking. And I thought about this because I actually listened to the whole thing that Monique said, and I could sense her frustration because what you're offered sets the bar for people who come after you. It really does. And I mean, that was true. And I was just like, good Lord, I just went through this little racist thing. What about to be confronted with this over and over and over and over? Your personage being assaulted because you're just not thought to be good enough. It is really, really rough. And her whole thing about banning Netflix, it's not going to happen. If every black person banned Netflix, it would make a little dent in their business because Netflix is global. They've got Netflix Canada, Netflix Europe. Uh, you're just not going to really mess with their money. It's a lot to think about, and I've been thinking about that as I have pulled back the covers, and we're getting into. I'm getting into how I used to live and how I used to make money off the books. That's what we're getting into, and I'm like saying, look, this is illegal. This thing I did, like I got House Magic 1, House Magic 2, House Magic 3. And I'm telling you straight up. And when I say it's illegal, the worst you're going to happen is you have to pay a fine or you may lose a little money, but you're not going to jail. But I'm putting all that stuff in there and I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, this is kind of crazy. I used to live like this. Uh, let's see. Let's go down. Fewer hands because of John Paul dead person video mess. A lot of people say that wasn't his fault, but it's just strange with the time and Erica. What's up, Archangel? What do you mean? I said I wouldn't continue. I don't know. I never said that. I couldn't continue working that job. Let's see. Johnny Walden, I couldn't understand you could make it into the good old boys club. Nope, couldn't do it. What's up, Keith Hardeman? You watch all day on the job. Charlton, forced split commission deals are always meant to piss off one of the salespeople. 12 G's? That was just, I mean, I spoke up. I was real pissed off. Johnny, would that be the taste of motivation? Possibly. I just know I didn't like it. What's up, Ray Owens? Dashiki Jones, when I sold cars, I went through something, forced to split deals. I hustled up. That is just some BS right there. It really is. What's up, Apex? Roosevelt Davis, you damn Skippy. I'm 52 and I've been in business for 17 years. Good times and bad years, bad times. Because the thing is, when I date someone, they get all freaked out because it's like it's so uncertain. And I was like, you think what I do is uncertain? Think about what can happen to you. I mean, she would have to because banning Netflix ain't gonna do anything. Agent J. Poole banning Netflix is dumb. There's no money in either protest. Rockstone, you become a threat to managers and owners when they realize your skill sets are equal or greater. The founders of Home Depot thought they were called in for promotion when in fact they were fired. I actually remember that story. Yep. Let's see. Mika Stafford, what's up? What's up, Lamone? Just went through child support, Ray. Man, that stuff's real. I'll even break on that. Because some of you know, y'all were here when she kind of went through the live stream. Every day, I get phone calls from restricted numbers. That's what it says on this one. Every day, and I know who it is, and it's wild how this is going down because she made these decisions to leave the state of Georgia. She made these decisions to not honor our agreement. She made these decisions to blatantly lie. And all of a sudden, it's like, I need some money. You need to come. I'm like, it's been almost 5 years and I'm going on with my life. And like I said, I think child support is some bullshit. Joshua Hill, it frustrates me to see these folks disagree with her talking about she should have had the look, the money. She's stupid and she's full of it. Like whatever happened to wanting your fellow man to win. I mean, she makes some valid points. It's just the boycott thing ain't gonna work. Johnny Walton, I had a cousin who tried to sell houses and always someone else would close the deals. Wow. Gunji, I don't get why people are trying to climb a ladder, build your own ladder. That's a good point. Arfanity Hood, do you feel as having ownership will make racism disappear in your reality? No, will not make racism disappear. It will just reduce the shit by 90-something%. So I still live in this racist Trump world, but it doesn't really mess with me that much. Maybe someone will say something, and no one's ever called me out my name in, not to my face, maybe 20 years. It's just this subtle bullshit. But when you are writing checks and you're signing checks, you have godlike power. This situation again, I've told the story before, I tell it again. When I was working in business environment, there was this chick named Susan who gave me a hard way because she didn't like working for the little darky. I was a salesperson. Salespeople were like, we were the officers and everyone else was like the NCOs and support staff and enlisted. And Ken told her, it's like, you do something, you got to do it. So she saw what I can do. And she was racist. And she was like soft racist, benign racist, thinking jacked up stuff. She never was going to touch anyone. This racist sent me her resume. I remember to this day when I got her resume, I was in my office. I was just like shocked. And it taught me a very important lesson. Economics trump racism all day long. Economics will beat the brakes off of racism. So when you get your economics, like you look at Dr. King, you look at like Robert Abernathy, you look at Thurgood Marshall, you look at Malcolm X, the reason that they were able to have voices is they had their own economics that were not tied to the greatest stream of economics. If they did not have their own economics, they couldn't have said the things they said. Economics will give you the ability to speak your mind. I piss people off on Facebook every day. I say crazy stuff. Well, crazy to people with jobs, because some of the stuff I say, if you had a job, like I attack the Me Too movement all day long. I feel like the gymnasts who were raped and molested by this doctor, like 160 of them, these is getting more traction and more talk than actual rape and molestation. It's wild. Let's see. Good Lord, y'all are rolling hard. Let's see. She spoke about that, Ganji. Ray Owens, I mean, that's it. That's really it. What's up, Mike Buford? The Shiki Jones, can an LLC help decrease child support if this is not one of your classes? Let me put it to you this way. If you have an LLC in place before your child support order, before, it can drastically reduce your child support. Rockstone, how is racism going to disappear? It's a way for the inept to cover up for each other. Mike Buford on child support, don't let it stop you from your dreams. Um, it can be slippery because if the mother involved is evil and every time you make more money and she takes you back for what's called reconsideration, it could be a nightmare. Archangel 357, green is the only color that matters. Religion, race, where you are from doesn't matter as much as the money. No, it doesn't. Woo, Ray. That's once again, an LLC situation could help you with that. Yeah, I'm at home and the internet sucks. That's what's going on here. It's just I'm in the office. I got high speed internet right now. I got regular internet, so yeah, it's gonna lag a little bit. And Natalie D, I always said that when you look under a bridge to see homeless people, none of them are concerned or fighting about race and vice versa. No, I mean, that opened up my eyes. That really set me on a different path because did she just suddenly become unracist? No, she was still racist, but her racist ass was still willing to work for me because I could give her a check. She knew I could produce. And that really, I mean, when I got the email, because I just, sit back like, oh, I already have an assistant. I didn't even have an assistant at the time. And I was just like, this is a mind fuck because I learned from that experience. I learned from Bobby on the auction trail and other races we did business together that racists will do business with you if it's in their economic best interest. Racists will treat you a certain way if it's in their economic best interest. Their economic best interest, they ain't gonna fuck with you. That's it is what it is. That's good. Reach out to Patty, nudge it. Eric cousin got full custody after ex-wife lost her apartment car and he was paying 1,200 a month for 2 kids for 2 years. And she lost, damn, she was financially irresponsible. Nathan Harris, no. Uh, Part of this thing is getting paid what you're worth, is making a decision that you're going to get paid what you're worth. Because a lot of people, they get a job and they don't really stand up for themselves. And then they got to have that, if I'm not being treated well by this job, I got to walk. A lot of people will not walk. A lot of people will not fight for their rights. And that's part of the problem. So what I'm going to do, let's see, because I have to do this periodically because people will be like, hey, man, I got a question about one of these courses. Let's see, because I'm doing yes. All right, so I'm just putting this in here. During this live stream, you can get any of the courses at Hustlers Kung Fu Lifeskills.com, including the bundles for, wait for it, 40 off. That's the code that you use. Because one of the things I'm learning is that people are consistently coming in here doing the stream, and I have to say that for them to let them know what's going on. What's up, Albert Loud, Andrew Telly? Too many people undervalue themselves and their work. Now, here's how to get paid what you're worth. Now, part of this is a preparation phase. And this is what I went through. I was just like you, working overtime, working a double, working part-time jobs just to get like a few $100. I look at that and I'm just like, wow. I remember working at Cobb General. I would think I was getting $10 an hour, 16 hours. So I was making $130 every 2 weeks. So $260 a month for 32 hours of my life. It seemed like a good deal at the time before I really understand creating value and I understand leveraging a business. And now I just like, oh my God, you were so dumb. And because I didn't know better. And like many of you, you don't know better. And this is why we have these little conversations, because what's happening right now, and this is something that no one's talking about except for a few people. You have technology, you have automation, you have efficiency, you have higher output with less people. Each year, it's going to get progressively worse. I've got friends my age who are working part-time jobs. I mean, folks who were big corporate, people who were VPs, people who were presidents. And once they came out of that corporate environment, and if you come out that corporate environment, you got literally 1 year to get back in. If you're out of that environment over a year, it's going to be hard for you to get back in, because what happens is they look at your resume and it's like, oh, you haven't worked for a year or two. Do you understand what I should just try to get a job? I should go ahead and put all my skill sets together, go apply for some jobs just to see what happened. Because when I put last job was 2000, I wonder what would happen. Jasmine K, I know I had to leave my job when I called a customer. I thought I put her on hold. I was just frustrated for that getting paid for what I was worth. 100,000 in pool sales for 1 day, no commission. Wow. Now that's like 2 or 3 pools, or maybe 4 or 5. I could see that. I used to have a pool. I know how much they cost. I mean, you want to put a new pool, that's going to be 25 to 100 grand for a pool. You don't know what you don't know. I mean, seriously, that should be on a black t-shirt you meet people wear when they graduate from your course. Pretty much, Rona. I mean, I've got a lot of friends. I've seen them. I got a friend who he used to work for a magazine where they do beauty, bathing beauties. And he got put out of that. He got laid off. He had a nice severance package, 2.5. And I just said, baby boy, you got to get back in it. And he just chilled. And then he had a stroke and he had another stroke. And now they looking for his car. And this was a 6-figure dude 3-4 years ago. And that's another thing that keeps my sense of urgency going, because one of the things is, like, I'm gonna be doing the podcast, I'm gonna be doing some other stuff. I'm probably gonna have to get my expensive internet back here again, and I'll just have like high internet in the office in here. But I know what lays out there for me, and I say this in all honesty. If I slip or I develop some bad behaviors, I could be under that bridge, wrapped up in a tent or a sleeping bag. And many people don't think that can happen to them. It's happened to me before, and I know it can happen to me again if I do the wrong things or I make some very bad decisions. So that's just, real. Thanks, so been corporate free since '09. Sure thing. If you apply for a job now, the quick assumption is you just got out of foreign prison. Oh, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put together a resume. I'm gonna apply for some jobs, and we'll see what happens. Oh, D Hectrix, that's interesting. Lesson I learned a long time ago. You still serves me today. You have to kiss ass, then kick it. That's kind of deep, man. That's really, really deep. That is really, really, really deep. So some of the elements is you got to make a decision to get paid for what you're worth. And with that decision, you have to make the determination that you're going to do whatever it takes. You're not going to fade when it gets hard, because it's going to get hard. It's going to be, this is why you got to, like, the young people today have such a beautiful opportunity that is unreal for them to make money, because the technology and the leveraging of it. Apex maternity leave. That's funny. Louis to sell my wife 6 figures as a payroll director for a prominent channel. I keep telling her that technology is going to possibly eliminate her job. The other day, a commercial for a payroll service aired. Mika Stafford, when I looked at how much money I made, I realized these jobs we have, we can't live off of because inflation. It's not enough money. Tanker, I actually got tired of doing courses because it's been a long time since I've done it. And let's put it this way. I'm going to do this and then I'm probably going to go to dinner and I'm probably not going to do anything because I got the live experience tomorrow. And I did this because I saw Monique's video and I felt that a lot of the people need to hear this because there's a lot of people who are trying to get paid what they're worth, but they're not building their worth. They're not increasing their value to society. And it creates a lot of frustration because they see hustler porn, they see this Instagram model, they see this young kid who's living this amazing life, and they don't really take time to note that maybe this kid, this young person is exceptional. Maybe this person's a genius. Maybe this person's got a lot of talent you can't see. Maybe this person's socially, there's so many things, but they see that and they get jealous, they get mad, they become haters. And if you're willing to put in the work, you can get paid too. Man Can Enterprises. What do you think Monique should have done instead of what she did as far as her career? Monique should have started something of her own. I listen to Monique, and every time she wants to do something, she's got to go to somebody. She should have built something of her own, preferably online, something what DL Hughley's doing. Part of Monique's problem is her age, and I don't mean that she's useless or a throwaway. It's just a lot of people our age, because I think she's my age, we don't really understand nor embrace the power of the internet. And that is a problem because when Monique was rolling, she should have did like a podcast. She should have. There's this guy, flat out. I forget his name. He started on YouTube. He's a comedian. He's a Christian guy. He went from YouTube show because he leveraged YouTube properly. And a lot of people, and the thing is, that the internet is still underutilized. Like I was talking to Patty today, what we're doing because like the live experiences are disappearing because essentially I know a lot of you would love to show up, but you just don't have the money. So I understand that. So my best way to serve you is to create a lot more courses and like, Tax Slayer. Tax Slayer is the approximation of how you can make money and keep Big Brother out of your money. I mean, this is something I did. I mean, the upscale garage sale made a lot of money. I never paid taxes on it. I can say that because there's no way that they can prove what I did. There's no records. Matter of fact, it's just a fancy story I tell on YouTube. So part of getting ahead, and this is one of the number one rules to building wealth, is not to lose money. Losing a lot of money to taxes is losing money. Those taxes are not going to take care of your kids. The taxes are not going to pay your house note. The taxes are not going to pay your car note. They ain't going to do none of that stuff. So you got to look out for you. And that's what I did. Anton Williams, learn how to code, and you got this. And that's another thing. Coding is going to become very, very important in the future. And most folks just don't have the ability to sit down and focus like that. Because if you're going to be a coder, guess what you need? A long attention span. There's never enough money to work for someone else. That's not true. Tim Cook, he works for Apple, like 60 million a year. Sheryl Sandberg, if there's some jobs that you can work a job and you will be paid like crazy, but we're talking about maybe 500,000 jobs like that in the world of 7.2 billion. 500,000 slots, and I'm including all the CEOs, I'm including all the actors, I'm including all the ball players. Do you know that if you added up all of the ball players in the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball, you still wouldn't have 10,000 people? There's like 1,600 NFLers, basketball teams. I think there's like 1,100 of them. You wouldn't even get to 5,000. That's just rare, you know. Sure, I will go ahead and put that. Oh, I don't even have to do that. All I got to do is this. All right. This is the code to get 40% off of anything that is hustlerskungfulifeskills.com. The links are below the video since somebody asked for that code. Let's see. Let's go down here. And let's see. Invest in yourself, Apex, Mancan Enterprises. All right. Health. Yes, Monique the comedian. E-Town walks in quietly and sits down. That's funny. Willie Moore Jr., BC Angel Hands. Yeah, he leveraged his youth. I mean, he leveraged that into some major bread. Antonio Williams, Boone Gang turned himself into a celeb off social media. There are people out here who are just simply famous for having some unusual quirk to their personality. Agent J. Poole, True Glenn, when she was hot and had connections, she should have been building her own thing. Now she isn't and begging for a raise like everyone else. I mean, when you are the it girl or the it person, that's the time to create your own thing. Like when I left business environments, I was hot. I had leads, I had deals. If I had left after all that stuff had dried up, that's pretty much it, Gunja. Malachi Steifer, my aunt felt I could not make a business because I didn't go to college. Look, Malachi, my mother, she didn't really get it until shortly before she died. When I told her I was an entrepreneur, she said, "Oh, that you know what that means? You still don't have a job." For real. Until they see checks, it ain't real. Hot song beats. I remember my ex-workers being proud of 1 million in sales with no commissions. Ew. Tanker Green, the Black Authority went on Monique for not building her own and trying to throw Dave Chappelle under the bus. Wow. Wow. I didn't know she threw Dave under the bus. Now, she should have did that when she was doing the Monique show. That's when she should have been really hitting it. Pretty much. You could find, oh, it's not on there. Hold on. Let me do some stuff. All right. Come on. Oh, I have to hit share. All right. So this is how you can get the tax slayer. I will show you some let's see. All right. Here we go. So you can use your 40% off coupon for any one of these bundles. You can use it for this one, for this one. You can use it for this one. You can use it for anything. Let's go down here and give you what you said. Tax Slayer is Disruptive Money Business Edition will be all the stuff that I did to make money and not pay taxes, just to keep it real. Just to keep it real. And it's untraceable money. This is why the dollar is not going anywhere for a long time, because I can give XYZ that dollar. He can buy some stuff from me and nobody knows. There is no record. So I will build out Disruptive Money Business Edition first. Probably going to do gold and silver tonight or tomorrow, depending on how I feel. Then I'm only writing for cash. There's a lot already there. And then I will finish up the Tax Slayer for the Beyond the Average Citizen. It's going to be a mindset course, and it's going to be very, very different. In Fat Cat Secrets, save $500 to $2,000 off your tax by creating a YouTube channel. You can get all this for 40% off. So let me close some of these windows. If your money is funny, I suggest you get Writing for Cash or Superior Mindset Bundle. because that includes I got to do that course. That course is done. That course is done. That's done. There's a lot there, and that's done. So that gives you actually, let's see what else in there. Oh, writing for cash. So that gives you a good basis, and just come out of that and gives you. I mean, you can get anything on the site. It may take a few minutes for you to poke around, but you can get it. What do you think about Steve Harvey? Steve Harvey's a hustler. He's hustled his way to a very nice position. Archangel, that's executive level. Exactly, those jobs are few and far between. I met 10 of them working for a startup that laid me off. Charlton, you know what? Actually, you got a point that all their salaries might be able to buy a big sports franchise. That's pretty much true. Sure thing, Mike. What's up, Ralph Gambino? Albert Loud, after you get a course, how long? Forever? It's yours forever. Johnny Walden, is that the way the Kardashians did it? Um, Pretty much. Well, Kardashian started off with porn, a sex tape. Yeah, I mean, now it's just too hard. Joe K said Chelsea Handler was making crazy money. That's why him and Kevin Hart bounced off her show. Chesla Handler, I mean, you got to understand how much money some of these old stars were making, like Merv Griffin. It sounds funny, but I'm gonna Google that for you. There's very good money in there, Ralph Gambino. Comedians have hustled hard. Yep. Change. I told my good friend, would you rather be making 100K a year writing a check to pay someone that? That's nice. That's really nice. That's funny, Gambino. Louis, if you work a corporate job, you need to start your side hustle. That's the only thing you're gonna be able to do. Because they don't know any better, Mika. So, all right. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to pop in here real quick, and I'm gonna pop out. Because I'm gonna show you something. Merv Griffin. Net worth. Now, this was he's gone. But most of y'all have never heard of this guy, right? And yeah, that's one Billy. Oh, I'm gonna show you another one. Everyone's heard of him. And this is Dick Clark. And I'm gonna tell you why Dick Clark is relevant to Kim Kardashian. So Dick Clark, 200 million. Dick Clark was the first person to own his own television show. He was Oprah before Oprah. He was the first one to do it. And when he owned this show, I'll show you someone else who's done it on a local level. Clark may not be able to get his money because Clark is very. Let's see. At I would estimate Clark's about 25 million. Clark, Dick Clark, and Clark Howard. Too funny. When I heard Clark talk about his show, and he made the distinction that Neil Bortz was an employee of WSGB. Well, Clark said, I run this show, I hire people, I pay taxes, and I sell all my own commercials. And I remember he and Neil were talking about it, and Neil said Clark makes like 5 to 10 times more than I do because he does all of that stuff I don't want to mess with. So the money is in ownership. The money is in owning the team. It's not catching that long bomb touchdown. I mean, it's just you can have a losing team and still make millions of dollars a year. It's amazing. But Dick Clark, he was one of the first ones. I'll even go somewhere else. Sam Cooke. Now, this is a tragic story. I think he died because let's see. Sam Cooke was one of the first musicians to own his own masters and everything. And that's unfortunately what I believe got him killed. Sam Cooke was making white folks money back in the 60s. I want you to understand that Sam Cooke was making white folks money. He wasn't making black folks money. He was making white folks money in the 60s. And I think that's why he is dead. And then you just see it time and time again. Oh, here's a good one. Uh, this is one of my personal heroes. Let's see. And he did this. All right. Present to everyone. Dr. A.G. Gaston. Net worth. This dude didn't even go $130 million time of his death. Then education level. I'm gonna make sure before I say it. Of a slave. Like notice how they put enslaved person. He was a slave. Grew up in a log cabin. Let's see. I'm almost sure. H.E. Gaston's the one that bailed Martin Luther King out of jail. He's the one that paid Thurgood Marshall to represent those boys. He did a lot. And this is really a good story because A.G. Gaston was making millions, right? And this is where all the money, this is where a lot of money for the civil rights came from. He was able to fly Martin around the world. He was able to, he did so much. Okay. He did go to Miles College. Uh, Southern leader. I mean, he at the same time, gas to provide King and Reverend Ralph Abernathy a room in his motel. This is a good, solid example of what economics can do for you. Yes. This is his building. This is his building behind him. Let me say this again. This is his building. This man owned this building in the 50s and 60s. He owned a building. If it wasn't for racism, this man probably been one of the first black billionaires. Think about that. And when people talk about I can't make it, and I just look at this dude. He did so much for so many people because he had economics. He owned a hotel. He owned buildings. He was able to put up Dr. Martin Luther King. He was able to bail him out because he had the money. A lot of the civil rights movement started with this man because he had the money. He was kind of like the financier of the civil rights movement. So that's one of the reasons that I consistently say you got to get your economics up. You have to. Let's see. Uh, more free. BC Angel Hands. No, they made that money off that sex tape. Going back to what happened with Dick Clark and how Dick Clark is very relevant to Kim Kardashian. Dick Clark took Ryan Seacrest under his wing and taught him everything he knew. Ryan Seacrest, when he was doing a host of the American Idol, was making 40 million a year. He's probably let's go ahead and do this because I know Ryan. See, a lot of people don't understand the money is behind the camera, and Ryan is making money in front of the camera. This is sick. I want you to look at this. Dick Clark, when he died, was worth 200 million. And that's from starting a television show and working for 40, 50 years. Ryan Seacrest, this is what the right mentoring does for you. Net worth 350 million. So this is what happened. Dick Clark took Ryan under his wing, taught him everything he know. I mean, for real, taught him everything. Ryan found Kim and said, "Oh, we can use this." And Ryan taught Kim everything he knows. So let's go to this because I've said this as a joke, but I'm kind of like for real. If you're gonna get a woman pregnant, $52 million. Kim has 100 million followers on social media. Kim's established net worth is accumulated to 175 million. She ain't even 40. She's got half the money that Ryan Seacrest. And the thing is, what's going to happen when you get that kind of money? It's going to turn into probably 500,000, and a few of them. Ryan Seacrest will be a billionaire before he dies. He will be a billionaire because of the advanced tutelage of Dick Clark. And then Kim's going to make a lot of money because of the advanced tutelage of Ryan Seacrest. I mean, it's crazy when you really look at the stark numbers. TaxSlayer has content right now. You got to go into disruptive money business. Yes, American Bandstand Dick Clark. The Longfellow guy, that's funny. You can take the 40% off and get disruptive money by on its own. They killed Sam to get after his masters. I mean, unfortunately, he was a young, handsome, wealthy black man in the 60s. Bill Cosby, I think he got a pass. Bill did a lot too. Bill did a lot. That's what got Michael Jackson killed. He had the Beatles catalog. So, uh, the Longfellow guy. I try to make money by buying this or getting free stuff on Craigslist, but sometimes it's difficult. Some stuff doesn't sell, and you also deal with a ton of lowballers when someone shows interest. Eric and Cole, he executively produced everything relevant in pop. Yep, Ryan Seacrest. Hot Song Beats, that's cool. A.G. Gaston was the man. DJ Slink, that's a beautiful thing. That's it, H.J. Poole. Merv Griffin's been gone for years and he's still making money more than Michael Jackson and Elvis. Joshua Hill, I think Floyd could have already been a billionaire if he wasn't such a clown. He's a smart dude, but he clowns too much. He's also a tutor in Shaq's ex-wife. She's an executive producer on a bunch of shows. You know what that executive producer check is? I'm going to talk about that in a minute because I almost had a reality show. Get that profit daily. Pretty much the Shiki Jones. All right. One of the things that you have to understand about executive producer checks. When I was going to have a reality show, it would have been the first storage auction show. And the first guy greenlit it, we were ready to go. He quit for a better job. We got this other guy who wanted to slow things down. He was just like, I don't know. It sounds so mean. It sounds so horrible. And then I started kind of getting into the business. And I remember I pissed the producer off because I kept asking so many questions because I wasn't just Glendon, hey, put me on TV. I was Glendon like, I want to know what you do. I want to know what you do. I want to know how you make money. I want to know how you make money because that twist that happened in me after getting laid off 3 times is still with me. So I got some numbers and it blew my mind. The guys who put it together, who put the deal together, they were getting like $500,000 each. And I had to fight to get like $7,500 salary because they were going to offer me, like, no lie, $500 an episode. The exposure, Glendon, the exposure. I was like, this ain't going to last long. Let me get as much money as I can. And Ryan Seacrest is getting executive producer checks and he's getting on camera checks. He's getting checks from all over the place and he's getting checks in his LLC. You got to understand something. This is why you see all this behind me. You'll see this more is I'm cutting out all of the frivolous parts of my organization. Like I really want to do the live experience, but it ain't working like me getting on here saying, hey, 40% off, you go buy these courses. I mean, the numbers say this is what I need to do. So I'm going to double down, triple down on it and also be more benefit and help to you. But being a producer, a creator, an inventor, something that serves millions of people, because this is something that's going to happen. There's going to be a writer, there's going to be a YouTuber, there's going to be a music producer, and they're going to create a song, a show, or something. And the way that the internet's hooked up, they're going to be able to sell this song to 1 billion people for $1. That is going to happen. I hope it's me. I really do. And for a lot of you who are out there trying to figure out some stuff, you need to get started on something. You need to be working it, because the reason that I'm here is I was in the storage auction business almost a decade, and they gave me enough content and information to talk to you guys and make money. So you cannot be sitting around like searching. You got to try some stuff. You got to put some stuff together. You got to shape some stuff up, because I know a lot of you are trying to hit it and not, quote, waste time and be efficient. Well, I wasted about 4 months writing Craigslist ads. A lot of them didn't work. And, that would have been considered by today's standards 4 months wasted. Well, here it is. God, man, 15, 16 years later, I'm still using those skills that I developed in 4 months. I'm still using them, and I'm still getting money from those 4 months of writing. Now, last night, I launched some ads that I wrote 10 years ago. They converted. So look at the apprenticeship and the craftsmanship of what you do. Because if you are doing something gainfully employed, you're building some new skill sets. And even if it doesn't pay off today, because a lot of the stuff I did 10, 15 years, it didn't pay off like it's paying off right now. And I'm getting ready to go because my recorder's on the last bar and it has a habit of just like disappearing. But what I want to say to you guys is, if you want to get paid what you're worth, you got to be worth something to be paid for. You got to develop yourself. You got to get into personal development. You got to serve a lot of people. You got to help a lot of people. And if you start on that path, and I'm going to be honest, it's not going to pay off immediately. It's not. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. But that clock starts the minute that you start. And that's why so many young people who are in their 24, 25, they got 7, 8, 9, 10 years, 11 years experience online. I mean, it's wild, but they've got the time in, they built it, they got the chops, and they're making money. All right. So one more again, I'm going to put this up here. The links below the video, you get 40% off. of anything at Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills. I will leave that for a little while, few hours, and then I'm going to check these comments, and then I'm going to bounce. And let's see. Reginald Lewis, what's your main hustle? That's funny. It's selling courses. I'm slanging these courses. Yep, gotta go with the numbers. All right, so you got your marching orders. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to get on the text notification list, and be sure to get your 40% off, because I'll probably leave that for like 2 more hours. No, I didn't bring it because I know that the internet here is not as strong, but I will be getting that back. All right, so you guys have a great day. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment when it's done. And I will catch you guys later.